All right, welcome back, everybody. I am so glad you're here because Spirit has been pulling me toward this particular reading all day. And honestly, the moment I sat down and started shuffling, the energy in this collective was heavy. Like, there is something really significant that wants to come through for you today, and I don't want to waste any time getting into it. Before we even officially begin, I want to say this. If you were guided to this reading, that was not an accident. You were meant to find this, something. Whether that's your higher self, your guides, the universe, whatever resonates with you, something nudged you here because there is a message that you specifically need to hear right now. So please just take a deep breath, set an intention, and let's get into it. Opening energy. What spirit is already showing me. The very first thing that came through before I even pulled a single card was this feeling of distance. There is someone in your life or on the edge of your life, maybe someone you don't even think about that often. And this person has been carrying feelings for you in silence. Not for days, not even for weeks. This has been going on for a while. And the reason they haven't said anything isn't because they don't care. It's actually the opposite. They care so much that the thought of saying something and potentially losing even the small access they currently have to you terrifies them. That's the theme of today. Silent love, hidden admiration. Someone who watches, who notices everything about you, who knows your energy better than you'd expect, and who has convinced themselves that staying quiet is somehow safer than being honest. Let's pull some cards and see exactly what Spirit wants you to know. First pull, the handwritten oracle cards. Okay, so the first card that came out, and this always gets me, is one that says, "You work too hard holding on to things that were never meant to stay." I need you to really sit with that for a second, because for some of you, before this new energy can fully arrive, Spirit is asking you to release something. It could be a past relationship. It could be an old version of yourself. It could be a situation where you kept pouring into something, a connection, a friendship, a situationship that was just constantly draining you and giving nothing substantial back. You know what I'm talking about. You've known for a while, honestly. And Spirit isn't being harsh here. There's no judgment. The message is more like, imagine you're carrying a backpack full of rocks, heavy, exhausting, slowing you down, and someone up ahead is trying to hand you something beautiful, but your hands are full. You can't receive what's coming if you're still white-knuckling what already left. So that's the first piece of spiritual housekeeping. Some of you need to genuinely release before you can receive. The next card that came out, and oh wow, okay. They hate seeing anyone else get your attention. So this person, who has been silently loving you from a distance, they are possessive in a way that would actually surprise you. They don't come across as the jealous type on the surface. They're probably pretty composed, maybe even a little reserved around you. But internally, when someone else makes you laugh, when someone else gets a long text back from you or pulls your attention in a group setting, this person notices every single thing. They feel it in their chest. They might even pull back in those moments because they don't want to show their reaction. This is not someone who is casually interested. This is someone who has already emotionally claimed you in their mind, even though nothing official has been said or done. And that's actually one of the things Spirit wants to point out. The depth of what this person is feeling is way beyond what they have allowed you to see. Second oracle pull, more layers coming through. Before I go into tarot, I kept getting pulled back to the deck because Spirit wasn't done with the oracle messages. A few more things needed to come out. They're hiding their true feelings, for now. The emphasis on for now is actually what Spirit wants you to notice. This is not a permanent situation. The hiding, the pulling back, the showing you only a fraction of what they actually feel. That is a temporary protection mechanism. It's not deception. It's not games. This person isn't stringing you along or being manipulative. They are genuinely afraid. There's a vulnerability that they haven't allowed themselves to show you yet because they haven't fully trusted that it's safe to. And something is going to shift that. Something is going to happen that makes it feel safe enough to step forward. For some of you, and this is interesting, that shift might actually be initiated by you without you even realizing it. You might say something, do something, simply be yourself in a moment, and it is going to break open whatever dam this person has been holding behind. It won't feel like a dramatic moment necessarily. It might be a totally ordinary interaction, but something in that moment is going to tell them, now, now is the time. They're creeping your social media. Okay, I have to say this because it keeps coming through, and I'd be doing you a disservice by not mentioning it. Someone is looking at your content, your stories, your posts, your pictures. They are absolutely checking up on you this way. They might not be ready to initiate a conversation yet, but they are maintaining this quiet awareness of your life through whatever digital presence you have. And every time they see something, it feeds the feelings they've been trying to manage privately. This is why I want you to really think about who in your world has been unexpectedly consistent with watching your content, but not necessarily reaching out. Sometimes that quiet consistency is the loudest signal. They hate watching you with others. So when other people show interest in you, when you talk about someone you're seeing or someone you've been spending time with, this person feels something in their stomach. It's a physical reaction. Some of them might even act a little off around you in those moments. Go a bit quieter, a bit more distant, and you might have attributed that to something else. It wasn't something else. It was this. Moving into tarot, the first spread. Okay, let me shuffle the tarot deck now because I feel like Spirit has a very specific story to tell here, and I want the cards to help me put the pieces together for you properly. Let me just take a moment. Okay, the Moon card came out first, and immediately I understand something about this situation. The Moon is all about what's hidden beneath the surface. It's the card of unexpressed emotion, of things happening in the unseen. The Moon doesn't lie. It just illuminates things that normally stay in the dark. And right now, the Moon is pointing directly at this person's emotional world. They have a whole inner life around you that you are not aware of. Dreams, thoughts, scenarios they've played out in their head, things they've rehearsed saying to you and then talked themselves out of at the last second. Two of Cups came right alongside the Moon. And this is really beautiful, actually, because the Two of Cups is the card of mutual recognition. It's that moment when two people truly see each other, and there's this undeniable pull. It's the beginning of a real emotional bond. The fact that it showed up here tells me that this is not going to remain one-sided forever. There is a moment coming, and for some of you, it may already be unfolding quietly in the background, where this starts to become mutual, where you're going to feel something shift toward this person, even if you can't fully explain it at first. Then we have the Page of Cups. And this one is so on the nose. The Page of Cups is someone who is in their feelings, someone who is emotionally open, but maybe still figuring out how to express it. They have this romantic, almost dreamy way of experiencing love. They feel things deeply, but they're not necessarily the most experienced when it comes to expressing those feelings out loud. This person might come off as a little awkward around you, or like they're always just about to say something, but then they redirect. That is not indifference. That is someone who is absolutely overwhelmed by what they feel. Who is this person? Let me describe their energy. Okay, so Spirit is really pressing in here, and I want to give you a profile of this person because some of you are going to recognize this immediately. This is someone who is strong on the outside. They might have authority, status, or this very composed, put together energy. People around them might even look up to them or see them as dependable and capable. But with you, specifically with you, there is a softness that comes out that they don't show everyone. You might have already noticed it and chalked it up to coincidence or just them being nice. It's not. You specifically do something to their energy. There's also strong Scorpio or scorpionic energy around this person. And if you know anything about Scorpio placements, you know they are deeply feeling, incredibly loyal, and they do not make themselves emotionally vulnerable easily. They would rather carry something in silence for a year than say the wrong thing and lose everything. That is exactly what's happening here. Some of you might also be picking up Capricorn energy, someone who is very disciplined, very structured, who has their life together in a practical sense. They might be financially stable or working hard towards something significant. This isn't someone who is reckless with their feelings or their choices. When they finally do step forward, it will feel intentional. A few of you are dealing with someone who has strong Libra or Gemini energy, charming, good with words, someone who probably makes everyone feel special. But again, there is something different about how they act around you specifically. They might get quieter, they might become more thoughtful. They're paying attention to you in a way that goes beyond casual interest. What Spirit wants you to know about your own energy. This reading isn't just about the person loving you in silence. Spirit wants to talk about you for a moment because there's something important here. A card came out, and I'm paraphrasing because it came from the handwritten deck, but it essentially says, your energy is contagious. You're exactly what they expected and more. You attract people deeply, not just this one person, many people. And part of why you might not be fully aware of it is because your radar has been calibrated to pick up on red flags now, rather than on genuine interest. You've been through things, relationships, or situations that taught you the hard way that people are not always who they present themselves to be. That some people will wear kindness as a mask and take advantage of your warmth. And so your system has adapted. You became more guarded, more discerning, harder to impress. And here's what Spirit is saying. That is not a flaw. That is evolution. You needed to go through those experiences to become someone who can actually hold real love without collapsing under the weight of it. The trials you went through, whether that was betrayal, someone cheating, someone being emotionally abusive, someone being in and out of your life constantly, all of that forced a kind of spiritual awakening in you. You developed the ability to read people's intentions with startling accuracy now. But, and this is the gentle nudge, sometimes the shield comes up for the wrong people too. Sometimes the very person who genuinely means well gets met with the same level of suspicion as the ones who hurt you. And Spirit is saying, pay attention. Not everyone who is quiet about their feelings is hiding something sinister. Sometimes they're just scared. Sometimes they're as soft-hearted as you are underneath everything. And they're just as afraid of getting it wrong. The 10-card spread. What's coming for you? Okay, I'm going to go into a fuller spread now because Spirit is not done. There's so much here. Ace of Cups. New emotional beginning. A new chapter of love is literally being offered to you. This is Spirit presenting you with an open cup, saying, here, there is more available to you than what you have accepted as your standard. Whether that's in this connection with this silent admirer or in a broader shift in how you receive love, something is opening up, something fresh, something that hasn't been tainted by old wounds. 10 of Swords. Okay, here's an interesting one, and I want to be careful how I interpret this because it's not as dark as it looks on the surface. The 10 of Swords represents something coming to a final end. For some of you, it's the end of a painful cycle in love. The last time you let someone treat you like an option. The last time you chose someone who couldn't choose you back. It is literally the card of, this chapter is over, and something completely new is beginning. You're not going back. Whatever you've been through, Spirit is marking this as the closing of that chapter. Done. Finished. The suffering in that area is concluding. 4 of Cups. Someone around you, possibly this silent admirer, is in that space of emotional dissatisfaction. They might have had other options presented to them, and they have absolutely no interest. Their cup is focused entirely on what it is they truly want. And what they want is you. They're not entertained by distractions. They're not chasing other people. They have made a choice internally, even before they've made it known to you. 8 of Wands. Fast movement. Fast communication. For some of you, this is going to happen quickly once it starts. Like once the door opens even a crack, this person is not going to waste time. You might get a text, a DM, a phone call, something unexpected that lets you know this person has been thinking about you. And once that line of communication opens, things are going to move at a pace that surprises you. Six of Wands. You are celebrated, you are recognized. Whether in your career or in this love situation, there is a moment coming where you are publicly, or at the very least, clearly appreciated for who you are. The Six of Wands says you win, not in an arrogant way, just in the sense that what you've been holding out for, what you have refused to settle beneath, is going to meet you where you are. The Star card. Oh, this one always makes me emotional, honestly. The Star is the card of hope renewed. It comes after the storm. It is one of the most healing, gentle, beautiful cards in the entire deck. Spirit is placing the Star in your reading to say, do not give up. Whatever has happened before, whatever made you question whether real love was even real anymore, whatever made you protect yourself to the point of almost closing off entirely, the Star says no. There is still something beautiful ahead. You have not missed it. You are not too late. You are not too guarded. There is genuine, peaceful, healing love that is approaching your life, and it is going to feel completely different from what has hurt you before. Career and financial messages. For those it resonates. Spirit pulled me sideways for a moment here, and I always honor that. So just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Two aces showed up in this spread. Ace of Cups already, but the Ace of Pentacles came in too, and the Eight of Pentacles as well. For some of you, alongside this love energy, there is a major financial and career shift happening or about to happen. Some of you are in a student phase right now, learning, building, grinding, and it is absolutely going to pay off. You are not wasting your time. The dedication you are putting in is being seen. There are people in higher positions who are watching your work ethic and taking note. An advancement, a salary increase, a promotion, an opportunity that comes seemingly out of nowhere. These things are on the horizon for a portion of this collective. For the very few of you who are in creative fields or entertainment or are building something public-facing, the Six of Wands and the Star together can carry a message about greater visibility, about your talent being recognized on a wider scale. I always want to be realistic. This isn't for everyone in the collective, and the cards don't do everyone equally in every area. But for those it resonates with, know that your grind is not invisible. The message here is remain patient. Keep doing the work. Don't let other people's timelines or other people's doubt become your inner voice. Your breakthrough is being built in the behind the scenes. More oracle messages. The Crush speaks. Coming back to the handwritten deck for these last messages, and they are absolutely loaded. I am amazed by your beauty. This person sees you, and not just in a surface way. They notice the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you make other people feel comfortable. There is something about your presence, your whole presence, that captivates them in a way that they genuinely did not expect when they first met you or first came across you. I'm imagining a life with you. Okay, so this is not casual interest at all. This person has gone far beyond, I think they're attractive. They are mentally building something. They're thinking about what it would look like to actually be with you, to share space with you. This is someone who is serious, even if they haven't said a single word about it. You showed me how to love again. For some of you, this is your person saying that knowing you, even from a distance, even without you fully knowing how they feel, has changed something in them. Maybe they were closed off before. Maybe they had their own heartbreaks and walls. And something about who you are, your energy, your authenticity, the way you move through the world, cracked something open in them. That's significant. That's not something people just say or feel casually. The feeling is mutual. This is spirit confirming that when the moment comes, when you finally start spending more time with this person, or when they finally open up, you are going to feel it too. You might already feel something and be confused by it, or dismissing it, but it's mutual. The pull is real on both sides. Someone around you is secretly obsessed. Yeah, we've been building to this the whole reading. Obsessed might sound intense, but in the healthiest interpretation of this person thinks about you constantly. They notice your presence in a room. They feel your absence when you're not around. They have built an entire emotional relationship with you in their own mind and heart before they have ever even had the courage to act on it. Your pictures make them weak. So for some of you, this person follows you on social media or has seen photos of you, and there is just something about seeing you, even in a photo, that genuinely gets to them. They might linger a little too long. They might come back to it. They might feel things they can't quite explain just from seeing your face. They will reach out soon. This is the one I want you to take with you. Spirit is saying the silence is not going to last forever. Something is about to shift. Maybe they gather their courage. Maybe circumstances bring you closer. Maybe the universe arranges something that makes it impossible for them to stay quiet any longer. However it happens, there is movement coming. And when it does, I want you to be open enough to receive it. The healing piece. Why this has taken so long. I want to spend a moment here because Spirit kept circling back to this. And I feel like it's the emotional core of this entire reading. The reason this person has been silent for as long as they have, it's not lack of interest. We've already established that the interest is deep and genuine. The silence comes from something much more human than that. It comes from their own fear of rejection, and not just the surface level, what if they say no kind of fear. This is a deeper fear, a fear tied to their own past experiences of being vulnerable and having that vulnerability met with something painful. Some of you are dealing with someone who has been hurt before, not in a way that made them bitter necessarily, but in a way that made them protective. They know what it feels like to open up completely and then have that opening used against them somehow. Whether through abandonment, through someone choosing somebody else, through someone who just wasn't ready. And so they have learned through experience to be very careful about when they show their hand emotionally. And then they encountered you, and everything they felt about wanting to be careful went out the window on the inside, while on the outside, they are somehow maintaining this incredibly calm, composed front. The judgment card came through in my reading, and it was speaking to a few things at once. For you, the person receiving this message, judgment speaks to a spiritual awakening around love. A moment where you look back at everything you've experienced and you finally see it for what it was. The lessons, the pattern, the reason you attracted certain types of people at certain points in your journey. And there is this sense of you've been judged by the universe, and the verdict is grace. You've gone through enough. You've learned enough. It's time for something different now. For this silent admirer, judgment is asking them to stop waiting, to stop letting fear be the deciding factor. There is a spiritual push happening around them right now that is literally asking them to take the leap. Whether they listen to it right away or need a little more time is something I can't say definitively. But the energy is there, and it is pressing in on them. 9 of Swords came up as well, and while this card can look alarming, in this reading, it's speaking to anxiety, specifically the anxious inner world that both you and this person have been carrying. For you, it might be the sleepless nights, where you wonder if real love is even something that's meant for you, where you replay old memories or old conversations and try to figure out where things went wrong, where you spiral just a little in the quiet hours when the noise of the day stops and you're left alone with your thoughts. Spirit sees that, every single one of those quiet, anxious nights where you wondered. And the message is, those nights are numbered. The worrying, the overthinking, the keeping yourself awake with questions that don't have answers yet. There is a shift coming that is going to begin to quiet that restlessness, not all at once. Healing is rarely that dramatic or instant, but gradually, something new entering your world is going to give your mind something hopeful to rest on instead. What this new connection will feel like. I want to give you something tangible here because Spirit kept showing me images, and I want to describe them to you. The energy of this connection, when it opens up, is going to feel surprisingly easy. That's the thing. that's going to catch you off guard. After everything you've been through, after the drama and the confusion and the effort and the walls you've built up, this is going to feel different in a way that's almost disorienting at first, because you might be waiting for the other shoe to drop. You might keep bracing for the moment where it starts to feel familiar. Familiar in the painful way, and it just doesn't. The Two of Cups energy I mentioned earlier, that mutual recognition. It's this feeling of meeting someone and somehow already knowing them, of conversation that flows without effort, of feeling seen without having to perform or explain yourself, or make yourself smaller to fit into what someone else needs. This person is going to receive you as you actually are, not the version of you that you present when you're protecting yourself, not the version of you that's learned to be cautious and measured, the actual, full, unguarded you. And for some of you, that is going to be the most terrifying and the most liberating thing you've experienced in a relationship in a very long time. The Ace of Cups that came up earlier in the spread is basically the universe handing you a brand new vessel. Fresh water, unheld by any of the energy that filled the cups before. This is a beginning, a genuine one, not a situationship, not something undefined, something that, over time, is going to have real substance and real roots. Some of you, the card suggested this, and I want to be careful because it's a big statement. Some of you are looking at someone who your spirit guides and angels are pointing to as a potential life partner. The energy of commitment came through. The idea of building something serious together. This isn't me saying run out and make declarations. The timing has to unfold naturally. But the potential here is not small. The person who has been silently loving you from a distance is someone who, if given the space to, would go the distance. A message for those who are currently in that giving up on love season. I see you. I feel you in this reading specifically. Some of you came across this video in a moment of genuine exhaustion. Exhaustion from trying, from hoping, from being disappointed. You might have recently made a decision, even quietly in your own heart, that you were going to stop looking, stop hoping, just focus on yourself and let whatever is meant to happen, happen. But without the active hope, because the active hope has just been hurting you. I want to say something to you directly. The timing of you finding this reading is not random. Spirit does not pull you toward messages that are meant to taunt you. If you are receiving this message about someone who has been silently loving you, about new emotional beginnings, about the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups and the Star, it is because those things are relevant to your current timeline, not your past, not some abstract future, your current timeline. The rest you've given yourself from hoping so hard, that might actually be exactly what was needed. Because sometimes when we release the grip, when we stop white-knuckling the idea of love and just let ourselves breathe, that's exactly when things start to move. The universe responds to ease sometimes more than it responds to effort. So if you've been in that place of, I'm done trying, you don't have to try. You don't have to chase. You don't have to do anything extraordinary. The only thing Spirit is asking of you right now is to just stay open, loosely open, keep the door cracked, because someone is about to knock. Signs, this message is for you specifically. If you're wondering whether this reading is really for you or if you're projecting, let me give you some signs that Spirit has been throwing my way throughout this session. You have been seeing repeated numbers lately, not just once or twice, consistently. Whether that's 111, 222, 444, 1111, or some other pattern that keeps appearing on clocks, receipts, license plates, wherever. Your guides are trying to get your attention. They're waving at you through the language of numbers, because that's one of the clearest channels available, and they want you to know that you are being looked after in this area of your life. You might have dreamed about someone recently and not been able to shake the feeling of that dream when you woke up. Dreams are one of the most direct channels your guides use to communicate with you, especially around emotional matters. If someone appeared in your dream with a warm or peaceful energy, pay attention to that. You have been feeling this low level restlessness, like something is coming, but you can't quite name it. Like you're on the edge of something. Not anxious, exactly, more like anticipatory. That feeling is legitimate. Your intuition is picking up on an incoming energy shift before it has fully materialized in the physical. And finally, you have been more aware of your own heart lately, more tender, more reflective about love and what you want and what you deserve. That softening, even if it feels a little uncomfortable, is preparation. It's your spirit getting ready to receive. Closing message from Spirit. I want to wrap this up with the most important thing Spirit has been showing me through this entire reading. You have been through a lot, more than most people know. Honestly, you've loved people who weren't careful with your heart. You've shown up fully for connections that never fully showed up for you. You've learned how to keep going, even when it felt like something in you was breaking. And through all of that, you never fully stopped believing that something real was possible, even when you told yourself you had. That hope that you've been quietly carrying, that thing that wouldn't let you completely give up even during your most cynical seasons, that was Spirit keeping something alive in you. Because there is something real that wants to reach you. Someone real who sees you in a way that you deserve to be seen. The message is stay open, release the weight, trust your intuition, because it's incredibly sharp right now. And know that the love that's coming toward you is not going to feel like the love that hurt you. It's going to feel like finally coming home. I hope this reading found everyone who needed it. Please like, comment, and share if anything resonated for you. Your support means so much and helps Spirit's messages reach the people who need them most. And I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves, always.